Yep. Yo. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Maxandjuancast weekly recap. Max, how you doing tonight, my brother?
Like you always say, Juan, it's a weird Sunday when your team doesn't get to play and you just get to watch a bunch of people play. I expect apologies out of both of us this week because, man, bad picks galore. Weird week in the NFL. Game of the year. Definitely catch of the fucking year.
Yeah. It was a really good week, bro. There's a lot more scoring this week, I feel like, more than any other week. That's just me personally. That's how I felt. But welcome to the channel, guys. Welcome to the show. Hit that like button. If you guys are new to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Comment down below, all that good stuff. Tell a friend, spread the word, bro.
Don't forget.
Tell an enemy, spread the word about the Maxandjuancast, bro. But now that we got all that stuff taken care of. Any thoughts? Any yeah.
That stuff behind you, is that just the friends or is that still your stuff?
Still my stuff, bro. I'm always, look, Max.
Go ahead.
You know this about me. I am never gonna back down. I'm never gonna back down. I'm never gonna tap out. As fucked up as it sounds, I've been through worse than this as a fan. I will never switch up, bro. I will never switch up. I'll talk so much shit about this fucking team. I'm not even gonna say their names, bro. That's how much of a disgrace that they are right now. But I'm never gonna switch up. You're never gonna see me fucking like hop on some other fucking wagon or like stop repping. I'm always gonna rep, win, lose, or fucking tie. I'm gonna fucking rep it. Bro.
Okay, so my non-biased, non-like thing to get you like riled up would be: do you want to start this week in Munich? Tariq Woolen versus Tom Brady. The matchup went about as well as can be expected.
Yeah, that definitely woke up to some shocking shit. Like, I want to say this, bro. I think this has been the absolute worst week of football that I've had. And I've had some really bad weeks, bro. But
you mean in terms of picks or just in terms of what you thought going into the week?
Well, you know what? I have so many things tied up on Football Sunday, bro. I got our picks for the show. I got fantasy football. I play DraftKings. I do parlays. And of course I root for my team. So all 5 of those things, you would think like, oh, there's some positive, bro. Like, you're winning every week. Like, that's the way I see it. Like, I have some positive going in on Mondays. This week is just not one of those weeks, bro. Every single one of those things, I absolutely shit the bed. And we can talk about it on Wednesday when we do the live for our pick'ems on how bad we did. I know as a collective we did pretty bad, but
yeah,
it's been a terrible week. But as a football fan, amazing, bro, because I think there's no other way to start, Max, talking football than the fucking game of the year. I mean, my goodness. Vikings 33, Bills 30. Vikings come out with the win. And in shocking fashion, this game went from it's sealed to, oh my God, did that just happen, to game's over. Oh my God, no, it's not. At least like 7 different times in this fucking game, dude. It was absolutely nuts. Cousins threw the ball 50 times, 357, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Josh Allen, man, 29 out of 43, 330 yards, a touchdown, and 2 crucial interceptions that he thrown. And Justin Jefferson, 10 catches, 193, 1 touchdown, and Diggs, 12 catches for 128. The stats kind of back it up on how crazy this game was, but what was your thoughts, Max?
I think the big takeaways, and obviously let's just start in the fourth quarter, was this to me was like kind of the changing of the momentum of the game. Well, obviously Dalvin Cook's 80-yard touchdown, that's a big boon, right? But Buffalo's goes to the red zone. They're on the 5-yard line. They're like, let's go for the kill. It's 27-17. I'm like, I just kick a fucking field goal here.
Yeah.
Josh Allen, and I mean, I feel like part of it, one, is when you're in that situation, if we don't get it, they're backed up. Now, this is twice, and I don't know if it's Josh Allen, but this is the second time I've seen this year. It might be Josh Allen both times, where you throw a red zone pick, and instead of getting the ball at the 5, they're taking it to the 20. And Pat Pete returned it pretty good. Josh Allen got hurt, like kind of got banged up on the play. Now they're on the 35. Now your defense is coming alive. And I mean, if I'm a Buffalo fan, I say, well, this is unsustainable from the Vikings because Justin Jefferson just is catching everything, even badly thrown balls, even bad decisions. He's just catching, right? Like,
how
Vikings,
many
impressive win? There's no doubt, but let's be real. One, is that how you want to win your game? Is that the play you want to like leave it up to the hands of fate? Just throw it up and let my guy catch it. As good as it is for Justin Jefferson, it's kind of like, is that sustainable against maybe Buffalo's fifth-string cornerback who, God rest his soul, I mean, he's just playing his heart out, but he just can't compete with Justin Jefferson. You get the goal line stand, and then let's be real. This is a quarterback sneak on the 1-yard line is kind of scary because those guys are like foaming at the mouth to get you, and Buffalo fumbles it. It's a bad center quarterback exchange. 30 seconds left in the game. They go up by 3. And then Josh Allen leads them on a drive in 30 seconds. They're on the 5-yard line. They could have went for the win. Kicked the field goal this time. It's tied. Minnesota gets the ball back. They score. And the Buffalo's driving down the field again. And Josh Allen just throws the ball. And you're like, what are you doing? Now,
I think
I don't know.
It speaks a lot of volumes, Max, on like how quickly things can turn in this league, you know? And I love Josh Allen. You love Josh Allen. I don't think there's any question on how great Josh Allen is. But I think one really good statistic about Josh Allen, I don't know if you remember this stat, but I want to say it was like 3 seasons max where he started off his career not throwing red zone interceptions.
And I think it's 4 over the last 2 weeks, right, Juan?
Yeah,
3.
and it's pretty alarming. You know, he has that injury thing, that UCL. I honestly didn't think he looked hurt at all. I thought he still had zip on the ball. I felt like he was still Josh Allen running out there, you know, doing Josh Allen stuff. But for the first time in a very long time, I would say since like year 2 of Josh Allen, this is 2 weeks in a row that we've seen this Joshy Allen that we like to call him. Like, what the fuck was that kind of decisions? Trying to do way too much, and it just came back to bite him in the ass, dude. Like, these 2 losses, I know like everyone has a collective effort of being blamed for the loss, but man, those 2 interceptions are so glaring, and it's kind of hard to like not look that way and say like that was the turning point.
But here's the thing, Juan. As a Buffalo fan, don't you just say, well, as long as we don't fumble that snap, we're going to win the game on the goal line. Mm-hmm. So is this a case of Buffalo? I feel like this is my opinion. Buffalo lost this game more than Minnesota won it. That's just how I feel. Don't get me wrong. Minnesota made a lot of plays to win this game. But when you get the ball, you get stopped at the goal line with 20 seconds left. All Buffalo had to do was get one play positive and they win the game. That's all they had to do. Like, they got worst case scenario, and it seems like week after week Minnesota catches kind of a break where they face a quarterback struggling, get a good throw, a crazy comeback, a crazy play. I mean, Minnesota's 7-1, don't get me wrong, they're a good team, but I think the record's a little bit prettier than the product on the field. That's just my takeaway from it. But you got to tip your hat off to the team. They never quit fighting. And Buffalo, are you worried about them? Do they have like a management problem? Is there something wrong? As banged up as they are? Or what do you take away from Buffalo?
I take away from, hopefully, like, Josh Allen is getting all of these bad interceptions out of the way. But I'm concerned. I'm concerned because they're not the Bucks. They're not the Chiefs right now. Like, they don't have a comfortable lead in their division. The Dolphins and the Jets are on their ass
Well, no
right
one.
now.
Miami's got it. They're 7-3.
Oh yeah,
Buffalo's
they're number one after today, but
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. What
Bills
I look
already
at
lost to
one,
both of those teams.
yeah, and what I look at one is as great as Buffalo is, the talent isn't on par with some of the elite teams. Like I look at teams like the Eagles. Can you really say they have a better offense than the Eagles? Like take away the quarterbacks one. Do you think Devin Singletary is better than Miles Sanders? Do you think, let's say, Diggs and AJ Brown are a wash? Do you think Devontae Smith's better than Gabe Davis? Do you think Goddard's better than Knox? Do you think that O line? We just move people around, and that's what I kind of look at Buffalo. And I pick up the phone and I call Odell and be like, "Yo, we kind of need this guy. We need a difference maker that can win on the outside." Because Gabe Davis, I know you like him. I know there's moments you like him, but there's games where one he doesn't show up.
I don't think Odell's gonna fix their problems. I
don't think
think
it fixes it, but it'll leave some of the pressure on Josh to create on his own. Because I mean, at the end of the day, you still see Josh, and you're like, "Oh my god, this guy's amazing!" Like one man show. He's kind of. It's just like how many times did you see him take off, and you're like, "Damn, it's 30 yards." Okay, he's just gonna run someone over. Okay, like between him and Justin Fields, I feel like they're the biggest one man shows in football.
yeah, it's concerning, bro. But I still think at the end of the day, like they will be there for the dance. Like I see them going at least to the divisional playoffs if they do have to play in the wild card round. But like I said, I think the only panic is just like they can't afford to have games like this because of their division with the Jets and the Dolphins. They just simply can't. And I think home field advantage is big to them. And shout out to the Vikings. I know like it's been more of a Bills conversation, but I mean, my goodness, fucking 1:00 or slash 10 a.m. on the West Coast, fucking Kirk Cousins. He just comes out to play, dude.
I mean, I agree to a certain degree. He still made some very boneheaded interceptions where I was like, "Oh, he panicked." But I think Minnesota's definitely found something, and I'd be really shocked if they don't win their division. As good as Green Bay came out today, and we're going to get into all that a little later, but
I think
Minnesota
it's a
won.
wrap. They have it.
I
They're
think they
eight
have
and
it.
one.
It would
They're
be
done.
a monumental collapse for them to
Yeah.
lose their division.
Like at this point, bro, you're 8-1. Green Bay is what 4-6. It's a
Yeah, they
wrap,
would
bro.
literally have to
It's not gonna happen.
collapse.
Yeah, and I don't see that. I flat out don't see that. Minnesota is very talented. I think like I know TJ Hawkinson didn't have a lot to show for in the stats department, but I think like that trade was so smart for them. Like I think he's been hitting the ground running with Minnesota so far. And all I gotta say is that this is one of Kirk Cousins' biggest wins of his career. Like I know that's crazy to say because he's had a playoff win before, but this was huge. This was on the road. This was everyone talking up during the week. Vikings ain't shit. They're not real. They're pretenders. Let them play a really good team in Buffalo. Look what happened to them when they played the Eagles, a really good team. They got smacked up. They came out there. They were down by fucking 10, and they just put their heads down and kept on working at it, bro. And they got away with a win. And I know some crazy shit happened in the game, but dude, it's hard to win games in this league, bro. And that was very impressive by what I seen from the Minnesota Vikings. I look forward to seeing them more this season, dude.
That was just would you say a notch in the belt for them? Like now that like they
Yes,
showed up
it's
in a prime.
confidence.
You know, I feel bad for your cousin because you know the next time he plays in a primetime game, oh, he's never won a primetime game. Well,
Yeah.
if that fucking game ain't primetime, what is?
It's tough though. It's tough because it's not prime time, Max. It's not.
I
It's
think
a
that's
10
a load
a.m.
of shit.
game.
He won a playoff game before. If that ain't fucking
Yeah.
primetime, he went into New Orleans. What ain't primetime? Come on.
I think it is a psyche in his head though. Like
He won in New Orleans in the fucking playoffs. How's that less scary than a Monday night game where they're playing the fucking 2-8 Jaguars?
and he fucking loses sometimes. It's so weird. I get you. Like I think Kirk Cousins is well enough to win a playoff game. I think he's well enough to win a Super Bowl with the right pieces around him. And I just think that's the next hurdle. Like I don't know what their schedule is looking like. I want to look it up right now and see if they have any primetime games because I hope they do. So he can prove to people, like, get that monkey off of his back, because how funny it is and how weird it is, or how you think it's a load of bullshit. Like, I think it is something. Like, it's something to look at. They got Dallas, they got New England. Oh, they played New England. That's prime time.
That's Thanksgiving night.
That's prime time, so that's a big one. Other than that,
I feel like the Cowboy game's fucking prime time because that's America's game of the week. Back in the day, Troy would be there slobbering on them boys.
Yeah, but the Legend of Kirk, not prime time, is prime rib right there, my boy. He's not lunch meat when it comes to primetime games.
Juan, you brought up Dallas. Do you mind if we go to that game? Because this was a great game.
Let's do it.
I'm genuinely shocked what I saw this afternoon.
So Green Bay wins in overtime, 31-28, beating the Dallas Cowboys. Another one, dude, that looked like it was over multiple times, saying Dallas kind of ran away with it. CeeDee Lamb, what a fucking day by him. I'm surprised you didn't put his stats, Max.
I mean, I think Pollard, at this point, fuck Zeke. Tony Pollard. We gotta go away from CD. Come on, dog. I had to do it.
It is officially. It was Tony Pollard's season last week, but this week again, 115 yards, 1 touchdown. Aaron Rodgers, 224 yards, 3 touchdowns, 14 out of 20, and Prescott, 3 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. And Christian Watson, one of my favorites from the draft, finally had a breakout game. So 4 catches, 107 yards, and 3 touchdowns.
So, okay.
Big day for the rookie.
I want to talk about CeeDee Lamb, and then I want you to talk about Christian Watson. Okay. And you can interject, please. This is a CeeDee Lamb I saw coming out of the draft, where he took it to Jair Alexander, who we like is one of the best corners in football. I would say this is the best game he's ever played in his career. He's the alpha on this team, finally. It's first year as alpha. And this is what CeeDee Lamb needs to do week in and week out. You can't just have games where you go 4 for 40, 3 for 36. You need games where you get 8 for 96 and a touchdown, or whatever he had today. What do you have, like 11 for 150 and 2 touchdowns? This is what you're supposed to do when you're a big-time player. In CeeDee Lamb, this is the guy they drafted.
Look, man, the only other game that I can remember that CD had that was big was the Patriots game last year. That crazy game that they had. But CD had a really great game, but I'm going to go more on the Rodgers tip. I really do. And the Green Bay Packers. Look, they kind of played the perfect storm today, because Dallas, even though I know they had a bunch of yards, Max, and I know like CD had some big plays, but I wouldn't say they were on an explosion as an offense like Buffalo was a couple nights ago when they played them.
Well, Dak just was determined to throw a pick when it was almost on the brink of blowing the game open. He threw 2 in the red zone. And the reason I brought up CeeDee Lamb was because this is the guy they expected in Dallas. And this Christian Watson, the guy I picked in fantasy and cut 8 weeks ago, this is the guy Green Bay needs. This is the kind of guy that opens up that offense. He was your favorite guy, one of your favorites.
Yeah.
Talk about it. And fucking sing his praises.
Yeah, it was a great game by him. And in Christian Watson fashion, it was like all big plays, all big chunk plays. That's what he does. He goes deep, and he's a burner. Like, that's what he does. I love to see. He also got
hobbled a little bit,
He did get hobbled a little bit.
He's the AD of the Packers. I like it.
I like what I seen from the Packers side. Like, they tried to do it against Buffalo a couple nights ago, where it's that run the ball, make Rodgers more of a game manager, don't throw the ball that much, pick your spots. It really worked out today. Like I said, it was the perfect storm. Like, they got turnovers. They were at home. It was loud. The crowd got into it. Like, I love that type of football from Rodgers at this point in his career and the offense that he's in. Like, the star and the meat of this offense that's really good is Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon. It starts with those two guys, mainly Aaron Jones. But the days of Rodgers throwing it 50 times, 45 times, and dissecting a defense and you know what? When we need a big play, we're just going to go to Devontae Adams and you guys can't do anything about it. Those days are done. Devontae is fucking rotting in Vegas right now. He's not there. He's not going to save you guys. But
that's also the way their team's built. One, they're not built to air it out 48 times because you don't want Dobbs and Watson and Randall Cobb and Lizard 40 times a game. So you're right. You're 100% right.
Yeah, and they still had explosive plays, and that's what you need by Christian Watson. You need the Christian Watson big plays. And I was alluding to it last week. Like, it takes time for Rodgers to trust guys for Christian Watson. And in Christian Watson's situation, it's been fucked up because not only that he's been having drop issues or not getting the offense or not being on the same page as Rodgers, he got a double-edged sword and he got fucked by injuries too.
Like, he's every week like it was ankle.
Even
knee,
in this game,
head.
he got banged up.
He got hobbled up, but it just showed the explosiveness one, and that's so desperately what this Packers team needs, not only for the run game, just to back off the corners, get some of the short area shit. I mean, this is what Green Bay needs, and maybe they can use this as a springboard for their season. And it kind of makes me think a little less of Dallas going into Green Bay, a team that had been really struggling, and it makes me less on them because they had a chance to put the Packers away, I felt. And Dak was like, here's a fucking ball. You're not looking. I'm going to throw this ball in the traffic. And I feel like they kind of squandered a win because they were up like 14-0, maybe 10-0, and he throws a pick in the red zone. It's like you could put them away.
Yeah, I think they were up 28-14 at one point.
Yeah,
with the ball.
It was their game to lose. And, Mike McCarthy was fucking in his Vince Lombardi jacket, like 8 sizes bigger.
Well, let's talk about that play because, with all this stuff said about Dallas, the game went into overtime. They won the coin toss. They got the ball. I want to say they got down to nearly the 46, 45. I might be mistaken, but somewhere in the means of a 50-plus yard field goal. And it's 4th and 5-4.
And they
decide to go for it, and they don't get it.
Why not?
And from there,
on it.
I like to go for it.
Green Bay's offense at this point, you're like, holy, we can't stop these fucks.
Yeah. I like the decision to go for it. I just don't like the play call. I didn't like it. I would have went to CeeDee Lamb.
Every route they had one was covered up. It was like the Packers knew what they were looking for. They had guys drop in that area. I think everyone on the right side of the field ran an in route or a dig, and everyone was like, "Okay, let's fucking guard all you idiots." So
it's a tough look for Dallas, man. But look, they're still in it. They still have the Eagles one more time. What are they? 6-3. They're not out of it, bro. They're still gonna be there. If you look at the playoff scenario for the NFC, like Washington and Green Bay, they're one game behind. And maybe the Seahawks start tailoring off because they lost today, which is a great transition for us. Let's go ahead and talk about that Germany game. So the Bucks, 2 in a row, man, right? 2 in a row? Or is it 3 in a row?
I guess 2, maybe 2.
2 in a row because they beat LA last week. They beat Seattle this week, 16-21. Leonard Fournette got hurt in this game, so Rachaad White took over, who's a really underrated back, another rookie who had a big day today. 22 carries for 105 yards. Geno Smith, 23 of 33, 275, 2 touchdowns. Brady had 2 touchdowns and an interception. And Kenny Walker really struggled today to get the run game going for the Seahawks. And I think that's like the emphasis here. You stop Kenny Walker, there's a lot of stuff that winds up going down for Seattle. It changes their mentality. And that kind of worries you about Seattle because I like to say this a lot about teams. Depending on how good you are, Max, it matters how many ways you can win. Can you win ugly? Do you have to win when you're up? Can you win when you're down? Like, that's what I love about teams. And I think Seattle is still a really solid team, but they're just one of these squads that can't win multiple ways.
No,
like trailing or not being able to run the ball.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. It makes me think about one like that rookie year with Russell Wilson You're like, man, they were so dependent on Marshawn Lynch and they're really dependent on Kenny Walker. But part of me thinks, they still got DK Metcalf, who, is just one play away from scoring every time, and Lockett, who's similar kind of guy. But, Tampa Bay's not a bad team. They're 5-5. They've had a lot of injuries, a lot of inconsistency with the O-line, and that's more important for them than a team like, let's just say the Bills, who can just depend on Josh Allen to escape pressure. Tom Brady needs to be blocked for. And I didn't get to watch a lot of this game because it was started at like 6:30, 7 in Munich. But I will say this, NFL in Munich is a big fucking hit. I'll just say that real quick. But
yeah,
I'm not worried about Seattle on. I mean, they're playing with house money. Like, if you told me at the beginning of the year, you can pick Denver 6-4, Seattle. 99 out of 100 people say, oh yeah, that's Seattle. That's Denver, no doubt. But it's not.
I want to see Seattle against San Francisco again. Like I said, that you're going to find out a lot about both teams when they play for Frisco and Seattle.
Yeah, and it was
but
Germany. Let's not take too much into it.
On the Buck side, I said this last week. That kind of win that they got against the Rams to get back on track is something that can get a team rolling, believing in again. Like, okay, we got one. We fucking pulled one out of our ass. Let's go ahead and get the ball rolling here. And they were hitting on all cylinders. Like, the passing game finally looked fluent. It looked natural. Like, Chris Godwin scored his first touchdown of the season.
Did you see Julio Jones? Rumble.
Julio Jones, too. Like, he looked healthy. He's probably going to get hurt in 2 weeks because that's just what Julio does. But the defense got back to, you know what? Let's stop the run here. That's what Tampa Bay has always been known for ever since Brady has been there. Is we're gonna make it hard to run the ball on, and they took up the challenge and they got the job done, bro. But I like Tampa Bay going forward. I really do. I think at the end of the day, like, they're going to be one of these teams you just simply don't want to play in the playoffs. Who the fuck wants to play Tom Brady? Who wants to deal with him? And who wants to deal with that defense?
Not me personally. I wouldn't want to see those guys in the playoffs. Seattle won. They still have a grip on the division. They're 6-4. Frisco 5-4 after tonight's win against the Chargers. So it's going to be really come down to that next game they play.
Let's go ahead and stay in the NFC West, Max, since we're on that. San Francisco, Sunday Night Football. This was a pretty good game, man. It was close. San Francisco gets the win 22-16. Came down to the wire. Bunch of fourth downs and running the football for the Niners, but got the job done. Jimmy G, 19 of 28, 240 yards. Herbert, 21 of 35, 196, one touchdown and an interception. DeAndre Carter, 4 catches for 64, and Brandon Ayuk led the way with 6 catches and 84 yards. Look, man, I think Frisco is one of these teams where they're dangerous, man. Like, I love what they did with Elijah Mitchell today and Christian McCaffrey. Like, I think that's a big thing going forward of trying to reserve Christian McCaffrey for the long haul, for the playoff stretch. And this is what they do. It's that how they won today, Max, is the definition of Niner football. Flat out. That's how Shanahan wants every game to go.
No, absolutely. And this is what to me what makes the Chargers so infuriating to think about. Like, they're banged up really badly. I know you're a Raider fan, but I'm pretty sure you can admit they're banged up pretty much everywhere.
Oh,
they're losing,
really banged up.
They're losing nose tackles. They're losing corners. Receivers are on their 5th string receiver, but they somehow keep it close. The defense is fighting its ass off. And it's just like, man, like, if you guys can do that with scrubs, what do you do with talented guys? But then, they play the Texans and you're like, holy shit, they're going to lose. So again, like, I commend the Chargers for their effort tonight, especially as outmatched as they were with all the people they lost in the game and just the type of talent they're playing. But I think it's just a flawed team one, and they're going to need to get healthy, and they're going to need Herbert to get hot if they're going to have a chance to make the playoffs. That's what I think about the Chargers.
Herbert's had an off year, but like you said, he hasn't had Keenan Allen all year, basically. He just recently lost Mike Williams. They lost Jalen Guyton early in the year.
They got no
Um,
Rashawn Slater.
yeah, no
The
Rashawn
defense
Slater.
is losing so many guys. I hate to make the injury excuse because there are a lot of teams injured. They're really banged up, but it's just, even when they were healthy, you didn't see them beating teams' asses. They were just
Yeah.
like, oh, we're going to barely beat the fucking Lions this week. And you're like, what are you guys doing?
They're definitely a frustrating team. And I don't like Brandon Staley, dude. I really don't. I feel like too much is on Herbert's shoulders. I feel like they need to kind of change the identity of the team right now. And I think they failed to do that. A big part of it is Austin Eckler does have some holes in his game. Like I know fantasy lovers like adore him, but I don't think he's a 3-down back. Like they need to have some type of change of pace guy in there, like a
The thing
2-back
is,
system.
that they haven't even built the team to really have a change of pace. They don't have an Elijah Mitchell. They got Sony Michelle, who, let's
Right.
be real, it's Todd Gurley's out the league. How Sony Michelle's still in it? They got Larry
Yeah.
Roundtree. They have no one to write home about. And then on the O line, they got Lindsley and Zion Johnson left. I mean, no Rashawn Slater. It turned a good line to a shitty one, and now Herbert's literally maneuvering the pocket, running, and just making amazing throws. And it's just like,
right.
you're just like, wow. I bet Kyle Shanahan was like, this fucking guy, man. I have the perfect team. I have no quarterback. But these guys have no team with perfect quarterback who somehow keeps this shit close.
Yeah. And I love what the Niners do to put their playmakers in the best spot possible. Like I said, man, I'm gonna keep on banging on the door about it. But Christian McCaffrey, I love the fact that he's on the Niners. Like the way that Shanahan schemes up Debo and McCaffrey and Kittle, like he makes it so hard on defenses. And I commend the Chargers today of even keeping it close, but I think that's a big part of just what style of play the Niners play with. It's for them, like if you're just a team like the Texans who just absolutely can't stop the run, like one of the worst run defenses, or like fucking Vegas who can't stop a fucking nosebleed, like it's gonna be a close game. And shout out to the Chargers. They're not in trouble. They're not like out of it at all by any means. But all I know for the AFC side, dude, it's jam-packed because the AFC East is legit. They're gonna have 3 playoff teams. I don't know who's gonna win the division, but the Jets and the Bills and the Dolphins are all making it. So I see that as the 2 wild cards already. So that 7th spot is going to be open for the Chargers. And right now, there's a lot of teams in the mix for it. Fuck, it's crazy to say this, but the Colts are in the mix, the Bengals, the Chargers, and the Patriots.
Right now, it's Jets, Bills, Patriots. The whole fucking division is going to make the playoffs. And yeah, they're 5-4. A lot can happen. But, this is what we thought we were getting out of the the AFC West. We thought Denver was going to compete. And as bad as the Raiders have been, and they've been bad, can we really say the Broncos are that much better? They've won one more fucking game. I want to go to Denver real quick versus Tennessee. Go ahead.
This was an ugly game, dude. Tennessee gets the win 17-10. And like I said with the Niners, how that's Niner football. This is fucking Titan football, man. 17-10, ugly ass win. Russell Wilson, he started off so bad in this game. I think he started off like 1 for 6, but ends up with 286 and a touchdown and 1 interception. Tannehill, 19 of 36 for 255 yards, 2 touchdowns. Cortland Sutton, 6 catches for 66, and Derrick Henry, 19 carries for 53 yards. And I can only imagine Bronco fans, they must be so frustrated because this defense is elite. They're a top 5 defense, in my opinion. Patrick Surtain is one of the top cornerbacks. Their offense is just putrid. They lost Jerry Jeudy today. It doesn't get any easier for them. It doesn't matter, but it doesn't get any easier.
I mean, I think we've gotten to the point where we don't even have to talk about Russ's play anymore. Like this is what we've come to expect. It's definitely a falling off. They probably are going to scapegoat Vic Fangio, Nathaniel Hackett. But like I said, I see guys open, and I'm like, this guy just wants to throw in double fucking coverage. He's just like, fuck it, I'm just going to do it. I don't know if you saw the play. I think it was like an offsides, but Russell Wilson got like hit and the ball went like 30 yards into the air, picked. And
I seen it.
And I was like, this guy just sucks, bro.
The Titans dropped a lot of picks today.
Oh my God, they did. And you know what, one? Like I said, commend the Broncos defense. We fired Vic Fangio. Vic Fangio was better with a shittier team. Without that elite quarterback, with getting guys like Kendall Hinton for a game and fucking Drew Lock and Teddy Bridgewater. This is bad. This is the worst this could have gotten. Seattle's got that first round pick. Then they're like, fuck yeah. Kind of in a similar position with the Eagles. We got a top 5 pick coming with the Saints struggling. Tennessee, you just win the way you win. Mike Vrabel, kudos. You guys are going to make the playoffs more than likely. That division, I would say, is locked up.
Next great receiver coming out of Tennessee and fucking Westbrook.
Nakine Westbrook, the only Westbrook I want to talk about tonight. Thank you very much. But, Denver, I brought this up because we always get a lot of Raiders shit because you're a Raider fan, and they've been awful. Yeah. Denver's been one game better, so they're still
Max,
shit.
I'm going to the game next weekend, as you know, Broncos versus that shit team in Vegas.
Are you wearing brown because it's a fucking shit fest?
I might bring a fucking paper bag so I can cover my face if it gets ugly.
Well, I would imagine Denver's going to be covering their fucking faces because, you can talk all the shit you want about the Raiders.
Yeah.
They made a big offseason move. They traded a first for a receiver. Hey, the receiver's been elite. The receiver's not the reason they suck. You trade a first for Russell Wilson, you're 3-6. Let me rephrase. You trade 2 firsts, a bunch of other shit for Russell Wilson. You were winning 3 games and
you regressed.
We can't blame Nathaniel Hackett solely for this.
Yeah. It's been ugly, man. But as much as I want to clown on the Broncos, I think it's worse in Vegas, man. Vegas loses to the Indianapolis Colts, man, 25-20. Jeff Saturday and the boys, man. Shout out to Jeff Saturday. Shout out to the Colts. Shout out to Matt Ryan.
He's healthy. How did this happen?
I can't believe it. When I seen Matt Ryan come out, Max, I literally said, fuck, I think we're gonna lose today. Where the hell is Sam Ehlinger? I was expecting a mediocre quarterback, and I'm seeing Matt Ryan. And look, man, I just the game itself, if you want to know what happened in this game, watch every Raider game this year besides the Saints game, and you'll find out how this game happened. It's deja vu. It's the same pattern. Raiders have a little bit of some well-working offense in the middle of the game, somewhere in the game where they look good, they look elite, but they shit the bed. They can't finish the game. That's how this game went on. And the Colts made more plays. The Colts stuck it out and had more grit, and that's the facts of it. I want to get down to what's going on with this team eternally. And I got a little clip for you, Max, and I want to know your opinion on what you think about this.
It's hard knowing what some guys are doing. Like I said, just to practice what they're putting in their body just to sleep at night. Like just so we could be there for each other. And I wish everybody in that room felt the same way about this place. And as a leader, that pisses me off, if I'm being honest.
That's my quarterback. That's my damn quarterback one.
He did have some fucking Tony Romo vibes right there. But look,
so he's saying I think, like there's guys in the locker room that don't feel the same, right? That's what he's going for.
Yeah.
Well, I here's what I think. One, I don't think McDaniels is in over his head. Like I've said from before, since day one, I want to say maybe you didn't feel this way. I was like, this team doesn't have the talent. Like it looks good on a few positions, but you're like, oh, look at this fucking O-line. Look at this D-line. Other than Max Crosby, we thought Chandler Jones was going to be something. And one, you can attest, bust. No cover guys really to speak of. Nate Hobbs got hurt. Safeties, cut Jonathan Abram. What's new? First round picks don't matter, right? One. That's what you always say. I'm just quoting you on that. But another topic for another day. This is just, I think this is the guy who's frustrated with the way it's gone. There was a lot of expectations, especially from a guy who went, what'd they go 9-8 last year? 10-7?
10-7.
10-7. I think this has been the worst possible case for the Raiders. They've lost a bunch of close games. I think they should stick it out with McDaniels because at the end of the day, it's not like you're getting blown out week in, week out. You know, you guys compete. You guys are there's signs of life. And I have I have two questions for you, and then I'll give you the floor. What was Devontae's usage at today? Like the amount of times Carr was looking for him?
Saying 85%. I mean,
what is it normally when like Renfro's there? Is it still like 85%?
Yeah, it's still
Devontae eccentric. Is it like too much?
I don't think it's too much. I just think.
Granted, you've had Waller, Renfro, and Adams out there for a total of 50 plays?
2 games.
Yeah, 50 fucking plays. So that right there is all you need to say. Like, wow, it's all Derek Carr's fucking fault. But he hasn't had his tight end all fucking year, who's elite. His really good slot receiver's been banged up and having a horrible year. So, I mean, what say you want? You're the Raider expert, not me.
How many times do you think, Max, this season the Raiders have started off on the opponent's territory to start a drive this year?
Oh, I've watched a handful of games and I never saw it, so I'm going to go with twice, maybe 3 times.
Right on the nose, 3 times. League worst. I think that just goes to show you the lack of defense, the lack of playmaking, and the lack of turnovers, like plays being made. And like someone has to pay for this. Someone like Jonathan Abram can't be the fucking scapegoat here. Someone has to be held accountable.
But were those people already held accountable and they no longer have jobs? Because like we've said, Josh McDaniels, Patrick Graham, who's your GM now?
Dave Ziegler.
Did they inherited this shit for the most part?
For the most part, but that press conference is very telling because Derek Carr is not usually a guy to give you anything like for press issues. Like he really doesn't. He's careful with his words. He's real generic. I think this is one of the first times I've seen him like break down like this. And what he said spoke volumes to me, bro. Like, I think Josh McDaniels has officially lost the locker room. And I think that's one of the worst things that can happen. And it's divided. I think it's obvious. Guys get so frustrated, whether it's Devontae Adams or Carr. It's just, you're not going to win with that. And I think it's a toxic environment. And I think today's loss is a fireable offense for McDaniels, man. And I think Mark Davis made a royal fucking mistake of firing, not keeping Bisaccia.
I think if Bisaccia is there, though, it would have made things a lot worse if they get off to the start. Because then, then it's just, let's just split right away. Like, oh, we want a Bisaccia, this guy was the guy. And I'm gonna say one thing about the Colts one, and you're not gonna like to hear it. I think you owe Jeff Saturday a little bit of an apology. Granted,
I don't think I owe no.
I think a little bit. I think a little bit. I said this one. We're gonna crucify him. Yeah, he's a fucking guy off the fucking street. You could have hired me or Juan to coach the Colts. They played fucking hard for him, bro. They played fucking hard. I know it's the Raiders. I know. Let's all pump the brakes. I said let's just give him 8 weeks. Who the fuck cares? One interim coach, one chance. Okay, I get it. It's fucking. Like I said, it's fucking weird. It's fucking weird. But he's 1-0. So I mean, I think we go him a little bit. We definitely can cut him some slack.
Like I said, I didn't blame Jeff Saturday one bit for taking the job, or there was nothing wrong with him. It was more towards the Colts or Jim Irsay.
Yeah.
I think it was a disservice to the coaches and the players. But look, man, he went out there and he coached his ass off.
You look good.
The coaching staff did an amazing job.
And Matt Ryan drank some fucking holy water.
I think that's the biggest one.
He's not hurt,
the biggest
right?
one.
He's not
No,
hurt.
he's not hurt.
Yeah, bullshit. They just that's
Yeah.
that's to me what was weird about the whole Frank Reich. Like, you really think Sam Ellinger gives you a better fucking chance?
Yeah, right.
Fuck, get the fuck out of here. Like,
I think that was
made me happy that Frank Reich's gone now.
that was the best decision Jeff could have made, was to start Matt Ryan flat out. That was the best thing.
Hey, let's just see if this saves the Colts season. So.
I don't think it does. I think the Raiders are that bad. But hey, make a Disney movie out of it.
Well, I mean, next week it's a loss. You know, it's the Eagles. You
know. Let's go ahead and move on to another AFC West team. Kansas City Chiefs, man, took care of business, 27-17. Patrick Mahomes, 26 of 35, 331 yards, 4 touchdowns and an interception. Christian Kirk, 9 catches, 105 yards. Kelsey, 6 catches for 81 with a tub. And Trevor Lawrence, 29 out of 40, 259 yards and 2 touchdowns. Look, man, the Chiefs are on top of the AFC. Not surprised at all.
Familiar sight, to say the least.
Familiar sight. They got a little bit banged up today. Juju Smith got banged up.
I think a little would be an understatement. Juju got
laid out.
Up.
He got laid out. But I think that Kadarius Toney pickup, man, I think he just stepped up today into the role. He looked damn good at it, man. And they might get Odell.
Andre Cisco one is fucking scary, bro. He was popping people all night. And I'll tell the audience this: there was no TikToks harmed in the hit of Juju. No TikToks were harmed.
No TikToks were harmed. But the Chiefs are legit, man. They're getting the job done. That had trap game written all over it. The Jags are one of these teams where their record doesn't say on how hard they are to play against and how much of assholes they are, like on defense. And like the Jags pick up I think they lead the league in first downs. Like, they can move the ball. They have pieces and players, but they just simply can't win.
Yeah.
And the Chiefs were like,
he got close to Patrick Mahomes. He was like, hey, and Patrick Mahomes was like, you don't know me, dude.
I think that's every like defensive end in the league, but
yeah. People want this. How the fuck can I get this guy? Like, I'm a freak of nature, and I can't get this guy.
Right. But Chiefs are good, man. Jags, rebuild year, man. Better luck next year.
It's definitely better than last year for the Jags. Put it like that.
Yeah, most definitely. And you can go up from there. Cleveland Browns, who are not been up since that Monday Night Football game to beat the Bengals. They lose today 17-39 to the Miami Dolphins, who look like a fucking well-oiled machine. Tua, 25 of 32, 285 yards, 3 touchdowns again, no picks. Nick Chubb, 11 carries for 63 yards, had a tub. And Jeff Wilson, the newly Miami Dolphin coming over from the Niners, 17 carries for 119 yards and a touchdown.
Don't let that run game get started. That's like the one thing you can't let happen against the Dolphins. It was fucking going today strong.
Yeah, it was going really strong, man. I like what I see from the Dolphins. This is another team who had like a little trap game thrown into it with the Browns, who they're one of these teams who can still move the ball. They have pieces. They can beat anyone in the league, and they came out there and whooped their ass, and they took care of business. And Tua, man, I think it's officially to say I called it. I don't want to say that I was right, but I was right. He's Jimmy G on steroids, man. He runs the offense so fucking well, dude. And Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, they're a fucking handful to deal with. And like you said, don't get the run game going because it's just going to make them even more dangerous like this.
I mean, they were borderline unstoppable, it seemed like today, where it was Tyreek or Waddle over the middle, Sherfield, Gesicki, who just is like the most nonchalant weapon in NFL, and then Wilson just getting them hard to get yards. You know, it's going to take a really creative game plan to get Miami because they're so creative pre-snap and like they got guys going left, going right, and they make you defend every inch of the field. And that's what good offenses do. Shout out to Miami. Tua's playing out of his mind. I'm still waiting for a real test for him, but right now can't see nothing bad about him. He's playing his ass off.
I really want to see him against like you said, a creative type of game plan against them. Like I want to see him against the Steve Spagnuolas. I want to see him against the
like
I know he sucks now.
Dan Quinn,
I know he
at
sucks.
least.
Yeah, Dan Quinn, or even like a Patrick Graham. Like Patrick Graham throws in some crazy stuff at you when he has a good defense with him. But guys like that, man, like I want to see that. I think that's the final test. But Tua, aka Jimmy G on steroids, I'm loving it. 3 straight games with 3 touchdowns, and the key stat here: 0 turnovers, 0 picks. That's all you ask for, man.
No, that's all you can ask for. One.
Let's go to New York, coming off that bye week, get the dub against probably the worst team in the league, the Texans. Vegas coming in at second, but that's besides the point. 16 to 24.
I'm sorry, dog.
New York gets the win. Saquon Barkley, man, unbelievable day. 35 carries for 152 yards and a touchdown. Daniel Jones did his thing, man. 13 for 17, 197, and 2 touchdowns. The Giants they're there. They're there, and I can't wait to see the Giants and the Eagles play. I want to see how that goes. I'm really excited to see that game. But Giants just keep on winning, dude. They took care of business.
They don't play flashy. They just take care of business. So it's run, play good defense. Don't turn over the ball. Brian Daboll, great job. Great hire.
Got into. I want to see McDaniels do some shit like that. Get into their offensive lineman's fucking face and go chew him out for having a false start on a crucial fucking drive. That's what I'm talking about.
No,
against the Houston Texans.
Best case scenario this season. The way it's played out, 100%.
Yeah. House money with them, honestly.
100%. Let's quick hit some of these games because, oh, my Lord.
If I would have known that TJ Watt played today with the Pittsburgh Steelers, I would 110% picked them. That's what happened. They won 20-10. Their record continues to be immaculate with TJ Watt. Steelers, what do you think? Are the Saints that bad, or the Steelers are back with TJ Watt?
I think the Saints are that bad one, and this just keep losing Saints. The Eagles have the 4th pick in the draft right now. I love it. I fucking love it. Yeah. So just keep losing games, Saints. That's what I need. Dennis Allen won. I think it's time we call him out a little bit. I'm going to give him one more week because, again, it was close, and the Saints are really banged up. Mike Thomas, Marshawn Lattimore, Trevor Penny's coming back, I think, next week. Kamara's banged up. Winston just sucks. The Saints are bad, man. Sean Payton Magic's gone. Sean Payton Magic has left the building.
That Andy Dalton shit is – you're not going to win with Andy Dalton, man.
Might as well go with Jameis. At least he gives you a chance to win.
Yeah. Jameis just I don't think he does, though, Max. He throws so many picks. But
I think they both have their moments. They're each going to have their moments.
Yeah, exactly. Arizona Cardinals. I got this one right. I know I picked the Cardinals. 2 backup quarterbacks. This was a fucking snooze.
So do I get my credit? Because I said if Stafford doesn't play, I'm going with the Cardinals. Do I get credit?
No, you definitely don't.
Because they both back up bull. Hey, I think there's a QB controversy. McCoy over Kyler. He's got that fucking dog in him.
Nah, man. I think the Cardinals they're a good bad team. They're the definition of that, if that makes any sense.
And the Rams are just a bad team.
They're a bad team. I think the Rams run is over, at least for this year.
I mean, they need to reload. The bill has to come due at some point. You know what I mean? Yeah. You just can't keep fucking trading picks, have no money in the bank. This is what happens. But you know what, you do that for a Super Bowl. You trade that shit.
It was all worth it. They won the chip, bro. And Cooper Kupp got hurt. Doesn't look good.
Shut him down. What's the point?
Yeah,
shut him down.
I think their season is officially over. And just reload for next year, man.
Yeah, I would shut down Stafford. I would shut down Kupp. And I say, you know what? If Donald wants to come back, we'll reload for next year.
Donald might retire at this point. Probably said, why the
You know what's interesting, though? Let me pull this up real quick. I think they owe their first-round pick to Detroit? They do. Yeah. So right now, Detroit's slotted to pick 8. Wow.
That's going to be great for them. They're going to probably have 2 top 10 picks.
Yeah, absolutely. Plenty of ammo to get that QB.
Speaking of Detroit, I wanted to keep this one last because I think we're going to wind up talking about it a little good amount. Chicago Bears lose today to the Detroit Lions, 31-30. this was a great game, dude, to watch. Any game with Justin Fields the last like 4 weeks have been absolutely amazing. St. Brown, 10 catches for 119 yards. Justin Fields, 13 carries, 147 yards rushing, and 2 touchdowns on the ground. Passing wise, 12 for 20, 167 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Jared Goff, 19 for 26, 236 yards, and a touchdown.
I think you saw the double-sidedness of how Justin Fields plays today, where it's like, fuck, it's awesome. He's Justin Fields, but that pick was like, you're doing a little too much, bro. But that's how they have to play if they want anything on offense. So that was a bad play. Jeff Okudah got a pick. A couple plays later, Justin Fields was like, fuck you. I'm going 70 yards, house call. Get out my way. Justin Fields one just continues to make plays. It's not pretty always because the Bears just have no offense around them, but one-man show.
Look, I'm going to say this, dude. I think Justin Fields is faster than Lamar Jackson. I feel that way. It's close. It's not by much, but man, like the wheels that you see on Fields, man, house calling these runs.
He's big too. He's not like slender. He's some built dude.
Yeah. So I love watching Fields play. And I think the Bears are, even though they lost today, and I know it sucks, he lost to the Lions. It was a close game, but I think the aftermath of it, Bears fans and the Bears organization is just so happy the result that they're getting at the QB position right now. And as long as that he looks productive and something to build for the future, they are cooking with grease, man, because they got a lot of money in their cap. They got a lot of compensation for draft picks. They're going to be rolling, and maybe a year, maybe 2. And you got to love the future for the Bears, man. Because this is what they wanted. They wanted to see some signs.
The future is going to be as bright as Justin Fields is and the team they can build around him on, because right now, it's not pretty what's around him. And I think the brightness of him is kind of getting stunted by the darkness of the team around him. But as they grow, he'll grow too. And I mean, he's already shown growth since week 3. Since whenever that week was where he threw 5 for 12. And it's like, he's making some good level throws, whether it's a bomb to Cole Kmet or it's just a back shoulder, he's improved. And I don't think it's the creativity of the offense or the playmakers that are really helping him in that aspect.
Yeah. That's all you asked for, man, because they can easily cut bait with Justin Fields. They didn't draft him, this regime. They have no ties to him. So if he were to play bad,
San Francisco,
they have no problem getting rid.
Could have had this offense. Could have just had what you had with Trey Lance, with a guy who's healthy and more explosive.
Yeah. As of right now, yeah.
I don't know. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Good point. I think that is it. Let's go ahead and hit our TeaBag teams of the week. You already know who I'm picking, man.
I'm going with the Falcons, man. They really disappointed me to a Panther team that we thought the magic had run out. Mariota's so fucking bad. He's trying to throw off the top of his head. You could just get Ritter in there and do the same shit, and you might hit some open people. So, sorry, Atlanta.
Yeah, it's tough. I'm picking the second worst team in the NFL, the Vegas Raiders. Mark Davis, sell the team. You don't deserve to have it. Give it to someone else.
Give it to us.
Give it to us. I'll run the Raiders. Fuck it.
Can I be your VP?
Yeah, be my coach too. I'll hire fucking Jeff Saturday. I'll hire
I'll change my
equivalent
to Max Friday.
Right. Who's equivalent to a Raider alumni with Jeff Saturday? Who is it? Who would the Raiders hire that's equivalent to a Jeff Saturday hire? No, I think that's a little bit too old. We got to go a little bit earlier.
Terrell Pryor.
Darren McFadden?
Charles Woodson? I don't think Woodson.
Charles Woodson. That's a good one right there.
I'd like to see Woodson coach. I feel like he'd be a good coach.
That would be such a Raider thing to fucking do. That's a good one.
Who knows the Raiders? Who knows what it like? Guess what? That's what they say. It's John Gruden shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm missing Gruden, honestly. He's a racist fucking piece of shit. But my goodness, I fucking miss his offense.
That was not what I was expecting you to say.
I miss Gruden.
I mean,
miss
bro,
Ruggs
just hire
too.
him back and take away his fucking email.
I miss Ruggs too, man. As fucking he's fucked up his life with the shitty person shitty decision that he made. I miss both of those two freaking dirtbags, man. I really do.
Oh my
it's
gosh.
times like
Come on,
this,
please.
man. I
Go to
gotta
Laker
miss
Corner
those
so we
guys.
can end this shit after you're fucking almost getting us canceled.
Lakers Corner this week, man. What you got for Lakers Corner, Max?
We beat the Nets tonight. No LeBron. Russ playing out of his fucking mind. 6th man of the year.
Let's get it.
Let's not let the fucking false shit prevail, Laker fans. We still suck. We all know it. That's all I'm saying this week.
Hey, man, shout out to the Lakers getting the dub with against the Brooklyn Nets. 30. What did AD
The
have?
only team with bigger fucking bullshit fog than the Lakers, with Kyrie being a piece of shit. John Gruden, Kyrie, and Ruggs for one fucking dream team 3-on-3 basketball team. So,
oh man, Kyrie, come to the Lakers, man, for free. Fuck it, come to the Lakers. Dude. That is your Lakers Corner, man. I think that's gonna do it for the pod. Went off the walls, but make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, comment down below any thoughts, opinions you guys have about week 10, I believe.
10. Week 11
10
coming up. Deshaun Watson didn't mention that. Coming back 2 weeks.
Coming back. We'll see. We'll see you guys Wednesday. We're probably not gonna have a show on Sunday. We'll see how it goes. I'm gonna be out of town. Maybe Max does a solo dolo pod.
Hey, let's go.
But
I get a co-host. Can I get a co-host? I get a guest.
Yeah. Pick who you
Okay,
want.
let's have the staff meeting right now.
But yeah, we'll definitely see you guys Wednesday.
Hey,
we'll get
real quick
podcast.
question: have we got that YouTube check-in yet?
No.
We
gotta save that up, bro.
Let's frame that fucking bitch. Put that shit in the
Raider logo. That's gonna do it, guys. We'll see you guys Wednesday. All right, peace.